Are you tired of feeling like you have to buy the latest piece of filmmaking gear to progress in the industry? NAB 2025 has just finished, and once again, the filmmaking world is flooded with new technology, new tools, new equipment, new things that are designed to help make our lives easier as filmmakers. But it's not always the best decision to invest in that piece of gear. So I wanted to provide a framework for you to allow you to filter your thoughts around new gear purchases, new investments for your creative business through the prefrontal cortex, which is the logical part of our brain, rather than trying to buy gear based on emotion, based on our heart, based on the impression of where we think the gear is going to take us creatively. So let's jump in. This template is based in Kortex, which is an amazing writing app. I'll talk a lot more about that on this channel, but for now you can follow the link in the description to sign up and create a free account. And then the second link in the description takes you to a template, which you just click duplicate, and that adds this template into your Kortex workspace. So step one, identify the bottlenecks, and I'm going to go through this template with you in Kortex. Define the specific bottleneck or core problem in detail. This is really important because we've got to understand that we're solving problems when we're investing in our business. The first step forces you to articulate exactly what limitation you are trying to overcome in your business. Ask yourself these questions. What is specifically holding you back and holding your business back right now? What measurable pain points would this purchase solve? Why do you need this new item for your business? And be specific. Now here's the thing, most gear purchases within creative businesses fail because they fail to solve a core problem within the business. So for example, the current limitation or bottleneck problem within your business might be, I don't have a camera that can shoot in low light. Another bottleneck problem that you might encounter with your business is the need to appeal to a higher tier of client. And this is obviously going to come with the investment of gear. That's what you might perceive the problem to be. Write that down. So step two is brainstorm solutions. Now that you've identified the bottleneck, go back and brainstorm every possible solution to that core problem that you've identified. Ask yourself, can these problems be solved with skill acquisition instead of equipment? Can I modify my workflow to eliminate the bottleneck entirely? How have I or others overcome similar challenges in the past? And what creative workarounds exist? So the skill acquisition, just think about it. If you're limited by the quality of your production work, ask yourself, are there skills lacking for me to extract the maximum amount of value with the current gear that I do have? If I just invest in a coach or a course, can I produce better quality work without having to purchase a new camera? The other problem in this example that we identified is the need to increase our ability to shoot in low light. Now, if you're running a business where you get 1 or 2 corporate gigs a year where you are in those environments where you need ultra low light performance, you've got to ask yourself, can I get rid of that bottleneck entirely within my business? And therefore, it eliminates your need to upgrade your equipment for that specific example. The purpose of this framework as we go through is just to get you to start thinking about the stuff that you do within your business, and it gives you a higher agency, which means it gives you the ability to rise above the systems and processes and curate them from the top down. In this template here, I've added an important consideration. New gear often solves one issue, but it creates a range of other problems. So we've got to understand the other problems that are going to be created, and then there's a space down here in the bottom of the template to itemize those. For example, with high quality cameras, you might be increasing the needs for your storage. You might need to upgrade your server. You might need to increase your transportation. For example, if you're buying massive lights, then all of a sudden they can't be transported in a sedan car and you might need to buy a van or you need to hire a truck. Moving on, number 3 is bridge the gap. Bridging the gap involves testing and iterating and adopting those solutions into real-world projects. What specific solutions from your brainstorming will you test first? Who can you partner with or learn from to implement these solutions? What specific metrics will help you determine if the solution works? And then what is your timeline for testing? So go ahead and put your solutions for the next 2 projects to solve those issues. For example, solution 1 might be, I'm going to rent a camera for that event that needs low light performance. And solution 2 might be, I'm going to hire a cinematographer who has much more experience to teach me techniques and skills to use and utilize my current camera to the maximum possible quality. Now, the main reason we do this bridging the gap phase is because we often realize that the initial bottleneck that was going to justify the gear purchase, we realized that this problem wasn't actually what it was in our mind. We might discover new problems. We might discover that that pain point actually isn't as exaggerated as we once thought it was because we found other solutions. Finally, let's move on to number 4, which is budget check. You've thought deeply about your bottleneck. You've brainstormed alternatives. You've tested solutions by bridging the gap. Final step ensures the purchase makes financial sense for your business. And this is so key. And I wish every new filmmaker would pay attention to this. Most creative professionals get into debt chasing the latest gear, which becomes a financial burden when it doesn't solve the core business problem in the first place. Smart investments must demonstrate positive ROI, which means return on investment. When you're investing in something, you want a return financially from that. Answer these 3 specific questions. Do I have the money available? What is my current equipment budget? Will this purchase require financing? If financing, what's the total cost, including interest and associated costs? Number 2, is there a more cost-effective solution to solve the same problem? Have I explored all other lower cost alternatives? And we don't want to hear that as creators. We want the best. We want the best possible camera that we can get our hands on. But if we're buying the camera to solve the problem, then can we solve the problem with a lower tier, cheaper alternative? What about leasing or rental programs? If you're in a bigger city, there's probably tons of rental options available that you can hire the gear per project. Number 3, what is the projected ROI timeline? This is really key. How many additional projects will I need to secure to pay this gear off? And how quickly can I realistically secure these projects? What's my break-even point in months and years? And this is important because of the next one, number 4, how long before this technology becomes outdated? If the technology gets outdated in 18 months, but it's got an ROI or return of investment of 2 years, then I'm going to be short 6 months, and that 6 months is going to be painful because I'm already paying off old gear, but I need the new thing already. So consider that. Will this equipment provide a profit well before I have to upgrade? What's the maintenance and insurance cost over the lifetime? And what's the resale value trajectory for this equipment? I know there's a lot there. There's a lot of questions to think about. The main purpose of this framework, regardless of any individual detail, it's putting you in the right mindset as a business owner, as the CEO of your own creative business. It gives you a higher agency, which gives you a vantage point from the top down. It empowers you to run your business, make financially wise decisions, not make decisions off the cuff that come back to bite you for years and years later. Okay, that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in again. I appreciate every single one of you. Just remember, if you're not signed up to the Creator Comms email out, which is my weekly newsletter every single Monday morning, this was the latest Monday morning email out. So if you're somebody who wants to think deeply about the work that you do and create exceptional work, then this Creator Comms email list is for you. Love for you to join. But for now, peace out. We'll see you on the next one, team. Bye.